Good, happy Saturday morning, September 9, 2017. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started. First up, we begin with breaking news. Hurricane Irma downgraded to a Category 4 storm, barrels toward Florida. Hurricane Irma, a deadly Category 4 storm with the potential for 155-mile-per-hour sustained winds, will make landfall as a potential Category 5 hurricane in Florida on Sunday morning. In addition to the hurricane warnings, storm surge watches and warnings are in effect and indicate the danger of life-threatening conditions from rising water moving inland from shoreline. Hurricane warning sustained winds of 74 miles per hour or higher are expected. Valos/Verde county line southward around the Florida Peninsula to and Clock River, Florida Keys, Lake Okeechobee, Florida Bay, Cuba, Provenance of Cambridge, Sigo de Alaba, Cinco, Valley Claire, and Martiros, Central Bahamas, and Ragged Islands, Northwest Bahamas. Hurricane watch. Sustained winds 74 miles per hour or higher are possible. Northern of Valos/Brevard county line to Fernando Beach, north and west of Anaclote River to Indian Pass, Cuba, Provenance of Holguin, and Las Tunes. Tropical storm warning. Sustained winds 39 to 73 miles per hour are expected. Cuba, Provenance of Holguin, Las Tunes, La Habana, and Cadada de la Habana. Storm surge warning. Valos/Brevard county line southward around Florida Peninsula to Anaclote River, Florida Keys, and Tampa Bay. Storm surge watch. Northern of the Peninsula/border county line to Flanger Valencia county line, north of Anaclote River to Sween River. And your 7 a.m. update. Cuba battered by Irma. A string of small islands to the east have been reeling in wake of a massive hurricane which strengthened to a Category 5 storm as it made landfall in Cuba overnight, before being slightly downgraded to a Category 4 storm early Saturday. And we will keep you updated on Hurricane Irma throughout the day and tomorrow as well. We will have extended coverage for everyone. And news around our area. 4 dead in homicide on rural street in Groton. A man in his 20s was charged with the death of 4 people found dead Friday night at a home on a rural street in the town of Groton. Groton Police and Massachusetts State Police surrounded the scene off Common Street Friday night to investigate the apparent homicide. At a news conference late Friday night, Middlesex County District Attorney Mary Ann Ryan said all the victims were adults and all of them were known to each other. Ryan said 3 victims, 2 women and 1 man, were found inside the home, and a 4th victim, a female, was found outside the home. The district attorney said O'Brien Crass was taken into custody and will be charged with 4 counts of murder. Police recovered what appeared to be a weapon, but investigators would not release any additional details. We will keep you updated on this story as we get more information into our newsroom. Former mass auditor, boxing contender dies at 78. Joe Danuke, a former world-class middleweight boxing attender who became a politician and the longest-serving state audit in Massachusetts history, has died at 78. Danuke, who had suffered from Alzheimer's disease, died Friday in his home in Newton, where his death was confirmed by Andrew J. Mangano and Son Funeral Home. In his boxing days, he fought quality opponents, including Emily Griffith, a world champion in multi-weight class, before turning to the equally rough and tumble world state of politics. As a Democrat, he served as a state representative and later held the office of a state audit for 24 years. Throughout his political career, he promised voters and supporters he was in their corner and said he was honored by the trust they placed in him. Among the state government audits Danuke handled was one in 2008 and found the state commission charged with protecting the disabled from abuse didn't have the staff needed to keep up with a growing number of reported allegations, leaving people with disabilities at risk of further abuse. Danuke had sponsored legislation creating the commission when he served in the State House. An audit he handled in 2007 at the beginning of the U.S. subprime mortgage crisis found the State Division of Banks needed more resources to improve oversight of mortgage leaders and brokers. As auditor, Danuke's job was to root out waste, fraud, and corruption in the state government, but toward the end of his career, he was accused of violating the state conflict of interest by law, clearing the way for his cousin Gatineau Buster Spring to be hired into the agency job for which he appeared to be unqualified. Danuke said Spinning, the son of his mother's sister, went through the standard application and review process, but Danuke did not try to cancel. He wanted him hired. Aimed that scandal, Danuke didn't run for re-election in 2010. The next year, top state elected officials, including Governor Deval Patrick and House Speaker Robert DeLeo, both Democrats, gathered in the State House to honor him. The newly sworn-in auditor, Suzanne Bump, who was replacing Danuke, also was on hand. On Friday, Bump recalled Danuke's many positive contributes to the state government and extended her condolence to his family. And our thoughts and prayers are with his family as well. Cornish man killed when motorcycle crashes into a tractor trailer in Limerick. York County Sheriff said a Cornish man was killed in a motorcycle crash in Limerick Friday afternoon. It happened on Central Avenue toward Limerick Center around 2 p.m. Sheriff William King said the motorcyclist Jay Tranning, 66, of Cornish, tried to pass a tractor-trailer driver by David, 65, of Saco, while David was making a left-hand turn. King said Jay then crashed into David's driver's side door and was killed instantly. King said Jay was not wearing a helmet. Hurricane Irma, now a Category 4, creating very dangerous situations for Southwest Florida. Just hours after Hurricane Irma strengthened Friday night to a Category 5 storm as it made landfall on Cuba, the monster storm went back to a Category 4 storm around 5 a.m. Saturday, the National Hurricane Center announced. Its maximum sustained winds decreased to 155 miles per hour, but the storm remains strong as it moves closer to South Florida at a speed of 12 miles per hour. As of 5 a.m., it was 245 miles southeast of Miami. Just 3 hours earlier, it was 275 miles southeast of the city. The storm's track has shifted slightly to the west, creating a very, very dangerous situation for western Florida, says ABC News meteorologist Danielle Manzo. Major hurricane conditions will slam communities on Florida's west coast, including Naples and Fort Myers. He added landfall may also occur as far north as Tampa as a Category 3 hurricane. South Florida is already experiencing power outages, according to the Florida Power and Light Company. As of 3 a.m. Saturday in Miami-Dade County, there were 9,613 outages affecting 124 to 52 customers in Broward County, which includes Fort Lauderdale. There were 456 outages affecting 939 customers. Ahead of Irma's arrival in the Sunshine State, the last flights departed Friday night from Miami International Airport and Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. Miami's airport officials remain open while Fort Lauderdale's airport is closed on Saturday and Sunday. Also, ahead of its arrival, the Associated Press reported late Friday night that many ATM machines across southwest Florida were out of cash as people stocked up in case Hurricane Irma power outages make credit card transactions impossible. Meteorologists expect Irma will make landfall in the Keys between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Overnight projections of Irma's path showed less of a threat to the Carolinas as the monster storm appeared likely to move directly up the middle of Florida and curve inland. The National Weather Service Keys West office issued the dire warning in wake of the updated forecast. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.